Hello, hi. So I'm back with day 27 of VEDA. The month is almost over. I've done a video a day. So giving myself a round of applause, wearing my Gryffindor shirt, doing my random neck movement, feeling better. So after yesterday, where my video was mad sleepy, my eyes were very not open, but I didn't want to not do it. I was very tired yesterday. I'm actually still tired today, but feeling a little bit more energized, mainly because I did a webinar earlier. I had a meeting for class, so I've had to muster the energy, which means I still kind of have it. Yesterday, I think by the time I did the video, I had taken a nap. I took like an evening nap because I was just tired. And I'm still tired. So it made me think. I wanted to talk about the spoon theory. I think I've talked about it before, possibly, but it's been some time. So I wanted to revisit the topic to provide some more context, but it's a really great way for people who have chronic conditions to explain, I guess, the practical day-to-day experience of being someone with a chronic condition. And so I'll share a link to the website down below that kind of breaks down the spoon theory and where it came from. It's on a website called butyoudon'tlooksick.com, which, you know, like, I just talked about how tired I am, and I know I don't look sick. I don't look like I'm, you know, not in a flare, but definitely have been kind of having pain a lot lately. I don't look like I've been, you know, taking CBD gummies and taking ibuprofen pretty consistently for the past few days, but I have. So I think it's helpful to use the spoon theory because it helps to kind of describe my day-to-day experience in practical terms that most people can understand. So the theory was created by Christine Miserandino. I'm probably butchering her last name, but Christine has lupus, and she was telling them her story. And so essentially she was with a friend talking, and now to provide more context, in the story, the friend that she's explaining this to is a friend who knows that she has lupus, who understands, who's kind of been there and seen her in ups and downs, good days, bad days, hospital visits, all of that. Her friend is very kind of just generally aware of her illness, of her condition, of her day-to-day experience. But her friend, one day, they're kind of out, you know, grabbing a bite. And so her friend kind of turns to her and she's just like, what is it like? Like, what's your experience? And so, of course, she talks about, you know, what most people who have a chronic condition do. You kind of talk about the practical things, like, well, I have, you know, I have to take medicine, I have to do this, I can't do that, I have to go here. Like, you start to break it down, and she's like, yeah, I get that, but like, what does it feel like? And so in that, and what happened was Christine, they're in a diner, so she looks around the diner and she grabs a bunch of spoons. I think she said she was able to find like a handful of spoons, maybe like 12 spoons. And so here is the impetus of the birth of the spoon theory. And so she grabbed all these spoons and she gave them to her friend. So she said, okay, these spoons represent your energy levels for a day. So say at the very beginning of the day, you start off with these spoons, and say you start off with 12 spoons. And over the course of the day and through all of the various things that you have to do, just, you know, from existing or living as a human, you have to, you know, use one of the spoons. And so when you have a chronic condition, some days, you know, one spoon can last you, you know, through getting up, you know, showering, if you have the energy for a workout, kind of, you know, getting to work, that can be like just one spoon. So then you have 11 spoons for the rest of the day. So then your spoons kind of just hold you much longer. In some days, or some instances, one spoon is like, you get out of bed, you've used a spoon. You take a shower, you've used a spoon. You have to kind of get yourself together and, you know, get dressed and get ready for work. another spoon. So it's only maybe 8, 9 a.m. and you've already used 3 spoons and you only have 9 left, and you have to get through the rest of the day, and it's still morning. And so that theory is used to really, I think, aptly describe what it feels like to have a chronic condition, because you might not look sick, but you know, your energy reserves can be low for various reasons. For me personally, my energy reserves tend to be lower when I'm either in the middle of a flare, so like I'm in active pain and I just kind of can't really move around, I'm not as spry, or kind of where I am now, I haven't been sleeping very well. And so I'll either wake up, just kind of, you know, in the middle of the night, just kind of wake up and then can't fall back asleep. So I'm kind of up, you know, for maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours. I'll sometimes wake up just by the virtue of waking up. Other times I'll wake up because I have pain. And so I might wake up, grab my heating pad, but then I still have to I have pain, and pain, it's hard to fall asleep when you're in pain. So you might, you know, I might grab my heating pad, depending on what time it is. If at least 4 hours have passed, I might take some ibuprofen and then try to go back to sleep. But if it's like, you know, 3 o'clock in the morning, I might not be able to fall back asleep in earnest until like 5. So now I've been up, now my sleep has been interrupted. I've been up for 2 hours, but I still have to get up at least 7, 8. 8 is like sleeping in on a weekday, and actually that's late for me because I'm used to waking up at like 6 or 7. But just in recent months, with everything that I've had to deal with kind of hitting burnout and kind of hitting my wall, I started to allow myself to sleep till 8. But that's still like, I've had interrupted sleep, so I might have gotten 4 hours, maybe 5, but now I have to get up and work and be productive and kind of show up, and I can't be super groggy. Like, I have to pay attention, I have to think, I have to perform and do my jobs, but I'm running on low. I start off on low, and so those are some of the reasons for me when kind of like my spoons are low. Either I'm in the middle of a flare and I just am in pain and don't really feel well, or I'm tired because I haven't been able to rest, or if I can't go to sleep right away, or I wake up and have what is commonly known, I know in endo circles, I'm sure in other circles, is pain insomnia. So that's when you wake up or you can't fall asleep because you're in pain or in discomfort. For me, I've had like discomfort as of late, so I'm not really in pain, just kind of feel uncomfortable. So it's hard to get comfortable and relax and be able to fall asleep. That affects my spoons for the next day. And so kind of get what happened with my video from yesterday, where it's very sleepy. Also, I did have my glasses on, but I kind of was in a place where it just, you know, I was really tired. I had taken a nap because I was just so tired. So I had just kind of laid down just to rest, and ended up falling asleep and kind of sleeping for an hour, but like at 6 p.m. It wasn't like a late day. So that also kind of threw off my ability to go to bed at a decent hour because I had fallen asleep so late in the day. And so all of that is kind of what happens with, you know, and for me, it's because I have a chronic condition that happens regularly. It's not just like, oh, you just have a bad day and you're tired. It's like, no, this can last for like a week or weeks. And that's just kind of that's just where I'm operating on that level. So I think it's a very great way to describe kind of how you may be feeling. And it's a good way to explain to people, you know, they're like, well, where are your spoons? Like, do you have enough spoons for the day? Like, how are you? That's a good way to ask someone who has a chronic condition how they're doing. And if they're not familiar with the spoon theory, you can just share this video with them, or the link that I'm sharing down below to introduce them to this. And it just gives them a practical way to explain where they are. And, you know, I find it helpful. So I thought I'd hop on here and talk about it for VEDA Day 27. So I'm feeling a little better, but I'm still tired. I'm just, you know, gotta kind of move through it and just try to give myself grace and rest, and kind of take it light where possible. So that's it for me for this video about the spoon theory. Questions? You got any? Ask away. If you have questions specifically about kind of the spoon theory and energy, I can answer them as best I can. Like I said, I'm going to link to the article that kind of describes the impetus of the spoon theory, which I think has a lot of great other information. But just questions in general about endometriosis, about living with it, about what that looks like for me. I can really only speak to my own personal experience. That's my own anecdotal experience. And even my own diagnostic experience. I can speak to like what I've been told by doctors, but I can't speak to what other people have been told in experience, and the experiences can vary. And it's important to note that. But I can share what I know, and if anything, it just gives you another point of view and something to consider. So I hope that you find this helpful. I'll be back for, of course, VEDA tomorrow. And until then, I look forward to the next time that we can talk again.